A client said this to me recently. I am really good at getting started, but then I struggle with consistency. I start and I'll do really well, but then this thing happens and then I stop again and I think if I could just get started, I'd be fine. Does that sound like you? The problem is not that you need help getting started. What you need to focus your attention on is not quitting. You need to not quit. You need to build the consistency. And it's important to remember that being consistent does not mean perfection, like never missing a day. So many people take an all or nothing attitude with health goals, and if they get off track, they think, well, now I need to start all over on Monday. And it's just not true. It's one thing to know your capacity and abilities about when to start something new, but if there are small consistent actions you can start taking today or even at your very next meal, what's the point of waiting until Monday? In this video, I'm going to break down what motivation is versus enthusiasm and what it takes to not quit. Hey friends, I'm Christina, and on this channel, we talk about lean eating skills and the psychology of fat loss without restrictive diets or calorie counting while keeping the fun in life, because dieting sucks. So friends, consistency is not perfection. It is about what we do most of the time. That's what matters at the end of the day. So when, not if, when you mess up or you make a mistake, the key is just to not quit. You don't stop. Just say, that's not what I wanted to have happen, but I'm gonna try again at my next meal. And we carry on. When we mess up, the temptation can be to have shiny object syndrome, where you just say, oh, well, this program just doesn't work for me, so I need to find something else that will work. Oh, look over here. When we first start a new program, we feel the enthusiasm and excitement at first, but that wears off. Have you ever experienced this? I definitely have. So we don't want to depend too much on enthusiasm because it isn't always there. Enthusiasm wears off, especially if weight loss isn't happening as quickly as we wanted, for example, or if the food I have to eat is bland and boring, right? So when the enthusiasm wears off, we tend to chase a new shiny object because that initial excitement feels so good and we want that feeling again. When we keep starting new things but don't stick to them consistently, we don't see the payoff for those things, and it takes a lot of energy to start something new. Then you are left with exhaustion, the diet cycle of failure, and no reward. Ugh! Enthusiasm is great to get you going, right? But if we are looking for lifelong, sustainable change, then that requires a deeper motivation. What really are the differences between motivation and enthusiasm anyway? If we can't rely on enthusiasm to keep us going, how do we stay motivated? Some people think that they lack the motivation to keep moving forward with something or stick to a program, but maybe it's actually enthusiasm that you're thinking of rather than motivation. So what's the difference? Motivation is that thing that gets you to do the thing. If you go to work, maybe you are motivated by being able to pay your bills, which allows you to keep the lights on and stay in your home. It isn't based on, do I feel like going to work? Because then you'd probably be fired and maybe kicked out of your house. So you show up to work whether you want to or not, hopefully. Enthusiasm is more about how you feel when you are working towards a thing. Maybe you feel energized and positive about the work you're doing because you're making a difference in the world, and that energizes you and gives you pleasant feelings. Enjoyment is what drives enthusiasm a lot of the time. But you know what? Motivation doesn't require us to be enthusiastic. I am motivated to work out in the mornings because I like the way my body feels when I work out, and it helps relieve stress and get started my day on the right foot. There are lots of days when I don't want to work out. I have zero enthusiasm about my workout, but the motivation of both not wanting to feel crappy or extra stressed from skipping my workout and how good it feels when I do, unless I'm horribly sick or something. Obviously, there's reasons to rest too, right? These things make me want to show up for myself. So I show up to work out because it matters for my short-term goals of feeling good and my long-term goals of health and wellness. So let's be sure not to confuse motivation for enthusiasm, because it too creates that drive to action. But motivation can be there if you feel excited or terrible or neutral. When we take a look at these concepts, we see an important point. We don't do things for the reasons we think we do. Doing things offers us a feeling. The feeling leads back to a place of identity or our values in the world. So think about that with something in your life right now. Maybe you set a new health goal at the start of the year, or you're thinking about trying something new. I have one friend who said she's going to run one 5K a month for the next 12 months. She will not feel super enthusiastic to run every day, but she is motivated by showing up for herself. So what is the thing for you? If it's weight loss you want, what's the reason for wanting it? Is it because you care about how you feel physically, emotionally? Are you wanting to trust yourself more, take care of that body that you were given? All of these things have to do with your values, and if you're waiting for enthusiasm before taking action, I encourage you to think differently. Think about instead, what do you love? What makes you feel empowered? What motivates you to be kind or take care of yourself or others? What would it look like for you to show up for yourself no matter what? It may require you to trust that thing that you love and longing for it to turn to action. Thank you so much for watching. And if you feel bold, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. As always, if you have any questions, please email me at Christina@ChristinaJodwin.com, and I'll see you next time.